Every May, the basketball world stops. The NBA Draft Lottery airs live. The Washington Wizards, the Brooklyn Nets, the Bulls, all waiting for their spot in the 2026 NBA Draft Order. And the top prospects, Dybantsa, Darryn Peterson, kids who sacrificed everything, are watching too. Over 500,000 athletes chase this dream. The NBA Draft Lottery odds say most of them never make it, and even the ones who do, half don't survive their second contract. This is not a story about who won the lottery. This is a story about who the system was never built for. Every kid who ever picked up a basketball has thought about it. The NBA draft, the suits, the handshake with the commissioner. But here's the number nobody puts on the poster. 450 million people play basketball worldwide. 450 roster spots in the NBA. That's 1 in a million, literally. And yet, the industry built around that dream is worth billions. Private coaches, elite academies, travel teams, training camps, parents spending $30,000, $40,000, even $50,000 a year on a child who is 8 years old. The top NBA Draft Prospects 2026, players like Dybantsa and Darryn Peterson, didn't just show up talented, they were developed, invested in, marketed from age 14. Most families can't afford that machine. And the ones who can still mostly lose, because at the end of every season, the 2026 NBA Draft only has 60 slots, 60 out of millions. The dream wasn't designed to be achieved. It was designed to be sold. Youth sports is a $19 billion industry in the United States alone. Coaches get paid. Academies get paid. Gear companies get paid. The kid, he gets a highlight tape and a maybe. And by the time he's old enough to enter the NBA Draft 2026, the system has already decided whether he had a real shot, not based on talent alone, based on zip code, based on budget, based on who noticed him first. That's the dream problem. It was never really a level playing field. Let's talk about what actually happens on NBA Draft Night. The number one pick, max rookie contract, guaranteed money, generational wealth, overnight. The 60th pick, G League minimum, no guarantee, no security, gone before the season ends. Same night, same room, two completely different lives. But here's what nobody shows you on the ESPN broadcast. Before any player shakes the commissioner's hand, the machine already took its cut. Agents, 4% of every contract, gone before the player sees a dollar. Financial advisors, marketing agencies, brand consultants, all circling NBA Draft 2026 prospects like it's an auction, not an opportunity. A Dybantsa alone was valued at over $1 billion in NIL potential before he ever played a professional minute. $1 billion built around a teenager. And the ones at the bottom of the NBA Draft Order 2026, no NIL deals, no agents fighting over them, no brands calling. Just a prayer that some team takes a chance. Now, zoom out. Look at the full NBA economy. The league generates over $12 billion in annual revenue. TV deals, arena naming rights, jersey sponsorships, international markets. The players get roughly 50% of basketball-related income under the collective bargaining agreement. Sounds fair? Until you realize that 50% is split between 450 players. And the bottom half of that roster? Fighting for the league minimum, while franchise owners collect billions in asset appreciation. The NBA draft is the entry point to all of that money. But most players enter that system at a massive disadvantage. Young, unadvised, and surrounded by people whose job is to take a percentage of their future. The dream has a price tag, and the player is rarely the one who sets it. The NBA is not just a sports league. It's a global entertainment empire, and the 2026 NBA Draft is its most important recruiting event of the year. Adam Silver built something that no commissioner before him could, a truly globalized product. Europe, Africa, Asia. The NBA brand exists everywhere. The league's total valuation? Over $100 billion. The average franchise is now worth more than $4 billion. The Washington Wizards, a team that hasn't been relevant in decades, worth over $3 billion. The Brooklyn Nets, same story. How? Not because of wins, because of markets, because of real estate, because of the machine. And every June, the NBA Draft Lottery feeds fresh talent into that machine. The NBA Draft Lottery odds are carefully calculated, designed to give the worst teams the best NBA draft picks. The Washington Wizards entering the 2026 NBA Draft Lottery with the best odds. The Bulls hoping for a miracle. The Nets rebuilding. Again. But here's the uncomfortable truth about the NBA economy. The league makes record revenue every year. And yet, ratings are down. Live viewership is shrinking. The average NBA viewer is getting older. The 2026 NBA mock draft projections are everywhere. ESPN, Reddit, YouTube. Everyone has an opinion on Dybantsa. Everyone debates the NBA Draft Order 2026. The content machine runs 24/7, and that content machine is worth just as much as the games themselves. Because in today's NBA, the draft prospect is a media product before he's a basketball player. Dybantsa had a documentary, a brand deal, a cultural moment before a single NBA draft pick was made. That's the new NBA economy, where the lottery isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about who controls the next generation of stars and who profits from selling them to the world.
The NBA Draft Lottery, the most dramatic ping-pong ball show in sports. Every year, the worst teams in the league gather. The NBA Draft Lottery odds are calculated, the envelopes are sealed, and on NBA Draft Lottery night, everything changes. Or at least that's the idea. The 2026 NBA Draft Lottery has the Washington Wizards entering with the best odds, best chance at Dybantsa, best chance at resetting a broken franchise. But history tells a different story. The lottery was designed to create competitive balance, to make sure the worst teams got the best NBA draft picks 2026. Instead, it created tanking, teams deliberately losing games, coaches sitting healthy players, entire fan bases watching their team lose, on purpose, for a better draft lottery position. The Chicago Bulls have been here, the Brooklyn Nets have been here. Every struggling franchise eventually faces the same decision. Do we compete, or do we lose our way to the top of the NBA draft order? And even when the lottery works, even when the right team wins the right pick, there's no guarantee. History is full of number one picks that destroyed franchises instead of saving them. The NBA draft lottery results have handed teams generational talents, and teams have still wasted them, because a pick is not a player. A mock draft 2026 projection is not a career. The NBA draft lottery date gets circled on every executive's calendar. The NBA draft lottery time gets watched by millions. But what nobody talks about is how many times the lottery failed, how many times a franchise bet everything on one ping-pong ball and lost the next decade. The system promises salvation. It rarely delivers it. So after everything, the dream, the money, the lottery, the machine, who actually wins the NBA draft? Let's be honest. The agents win. Every contract signed on NBA Draft 2026 night means 4% in their pocket. Guaranteed. Whether the player makes it or not, the academies win. Every top NBA Draft prospect 2026 who gets called is a marketing trophy. Our alumni, our system, our results. The next generation of parents writes the check. The NBA wins. Every 2026 NBA draft pick is a new content asset, a new jersey, a new storyline. A Dybantsa to the Washington Wizards, or wherever he lands, is worth hundreds of millions in media value before he plays a single regular season game. ESPN wins. The NBA Draft Lottery live broadcast. The NBA Mock Draft 2026 debates. The draft night coverage, all of it. Advertising revenue, all of it. Eyeballs. And the players, some of them win. The ones at the top, the ones with the right agent, the right team, the right system around them. Vince Carter, drafted 1998, played until 2020, 22 seasons. One of the greatest stories the NBA draft ever produced. But for every Vince Carter, there are hundreds of second-round picks who never found their footing, hundreds of G League careers, overseas contracts, quiet retirements nobody covered. The 2026 NBA draft order will be studied, debated, and dissected for years. The NBA draft projections will be wrong about half the picks, and the kids who don't get called, the ones who spent everything, sacrificed everything, they won't make the broadcast. They never do. The NBA draft is the greatest show in basketball, but it was built for the league, for the brands, for the business, not for the kid who stayed in the gym until midnight, not for the family that bet everything on a dream. The lottery picks a winner every year. It just never picks them.